All right, so now that we have set up our scene, we have our camera ready, we could start to add some materials, add some colors, and make it look pretty. A big part of 3D rendering has to do with the color. But let me show you how to set it up so that it will be easy when you're doing that. So first of all, we're going to change this editor type to the shader editor. And then let's hover the mouse here and just drag a window out here. And we're going to change this from the shader editor to the image editor because we're going to import a color palette that I have referenced there. So you could open that color palette that I linked. So this color palette here, palette underscore one. Why did I do this? Well, instead of just using random colors that come to your mind, usually there are colors that go well together, and you will find them on a number of websites. One popular website is this one called Colors or Coolors, CWLORS. And let me show you how to use this. So you go across the tools and click on Palette Generator. All right, and as it mentions here, press the spacebar to generate color palettes. So you just press spacebar and you get some really nice color palettes. So you see one that you like, and you could, when you see one that you like, you could click on export and click on image, and that's it, and it's downloaded. All right, so let's go back to Blender here now. This is the one I already downloaded. So we're going to be using this to add colors to our objects here. So let's do it one at a time. Let's start first with the wall, or the background here. So let's click on that background and click on new, and let's give this this color here, maybe the cream. So let's click inside this box and call this and name this cream. All right, enter. I forgot this is new to you. This is by default. This is called a shader. So by default, as long as you click on add a new material, this shader principled BSDF shader gets connected to this material output. And so this affects now what you see. So for example, if I click in the base color, click in here, and I just click on, see, move around the mouse, you see that? So it's changing the color. Really, really nice. Right click to cancel that. What we're going to do instead, we're going to sample these colors here. So click on the base color, and you see that eyedropper. So click on the eyedropper and then hover and click on this one here. See that? With a nice color to start with. Really nice. All right. Let's go with this one in the back here now. So let's click on new once again. And let's give this, which one? Let's say this pink one. So let's name it pink. I click in the base color, click on the eyedropper, hover here, click on the pink. Really nice. So that we wouldn't see these selected, what we could do is turn off the gizmos and the overlays. So it's really nice and clean. So all we see in here is just the objects and the colors. All right, so let's go again. Let's select this one here. Let's click on a new one. Let's see, probably give this one the blue color. All right, so let's click here, eyedropper blue. And we could go like this, but it'd be really easy. Let's try this one here, and let's click on this one. Maybe we give this a yellow color. All right, and then we just see this start coming together really nicely. Click on the eyedropper really, really nicely. And then we could decide now how we're going to balance all those colors. You see how nice it's already looking? So we have to now balance all these colors. So maybe I'll select this object here, and maybe I could give this also, you know what? Let me undo that. Since I already have, I want to give this pink color. I don't have to click new because there's already an object here using the pink color. So I click on this drop down arrow here and I link it. So I also am using this object. This is a pink. So if you have to add something else that same color, you simply let's try it again with the ball here. This big one, click on the ball and then click the drop down arrow and click on pink. So that also using pink. And then we could go with the stairs. Maybe we could give that a blue color as well. So click on blue. All right. What about the background here? Should I also give that a yellow color? Let's go with yellow. See how that looks. Not bad. Let's try the cream. All right. And what about this gray? Let me see. No, it's not here. I have to click new and then type in gray. All right. And let's click on the base color. Click on the eyedrop and let's try that. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's go with the cream. All right. Or maybe let's try the yellow. All right. So and we could go like that and see what works best. Maybe I could give this one here Let's try the pink, and let's try the yellow. All right, not bad, not bad. All right, and we could mix and match however we want it. And basically, that is how we add our colors to our scene. Next, I'm going to show you now how we're going to render this out. I'm going to show you the settings because I've already have mine set up, so it's easy for me to press F12. But there are some things to look out for here in the outliner when you're rendering. So we will discuss all of that in the next chapter. So I'll see you in the next one.